This is Learn Butoh, episode 18 on jumps. It took me a while to get into jumps in this series because a person can really hurt themselves if they don't know what they're doing. I would say that the most fundamental thing to watch out for is that your knee is always in line with your feet, else some serious injury could occur. Never force a turnout by deviating your foot away from your knee. Instead, always turn out or turn in from the hip. Another very important thing to note when jumping is the landing. The landing must be softened, and so when you come down, to facilitate that, your toes are going to soften, your ankles are going to soften, your knees are going to soften, and your hips are going to soften, and it's all going up in a spring-like manner. When you begin your jump, you engage your core, bend your knees, and jump. And the last thing to leave the floor or the ground are your toes. The toes are given that extra push up. Here I do the same thing in a horse stance and a wide stance. Make sure your knees are over your feet. Next we go into a frog jump. You're going to go into a squat with your arms in front of you, and then you are going to spring forward, and the arms are going to give you momentum because they're going to go behind you. And also, your spine is going to extend and then it's going to contract. We can also do the frog jump with a stressed undulation. This undulation is a natural form of movement that many animals use to locomote forward. We use the same idea with the bunny hop. As you can see, the dancer dives forward with the arms and the legs shoot out. You actually need some good core strength for this, especially if you're going to do a slow motion like I do here. Note, a good trick in getting the feet up is focusing on your hip to get that hip up. Every time you jump out, think of that bunny hop, especially on one leg. When you use one leg to jump out, that one leg at the base is going to push the ground out. And so think of jumping over a puddle. Now taking this up to standing, the same idea holds with the undulations. You can also think of a gorilla, an excited gorilla. Now we're going to do jump turns, and you're going to lead by the arms because it's easier that way. When you do one full turn, you keep the energy flowing, twisting out as far as you can. This is the same idea, but you're just going to keep it going. This is the same thing except the head is initiating. Next we have a barrel roll jump. Your arms and your feet are going to give you momentum for this one. This is a move used in jazz dance, but it certainly has application in Butoh, I think. I don't get too parallel to the floor when I make this barrel turn, but with practice you can get more and more parallel. This crazy man is all over the place, but he's still using opposition. These might have an official name, as I remember in one of my modern dance classes, we actually did this for one of the dances, but I'll just call them the wild man jumps. We use whole body opposition, like walking, arm and leg working together, and you jump forward. Notice how all the limbs burst out. These are jumps that land with other portions of the feet. You have to be very, very careful with this one if you're going to do it. We're going to jump and land on the edge of our feet, but we're going to bend our knees, and the knees are going to go right over the feet, and you're also going to have a nice bend in the hips. All of this is softening. Softening, just like any other jump, is number one, and especially with this one. You could also do this with the inner portion of your feet, or you could experiment and do the outer edge, and then the inner as well at the same time. The most important thing, of course, is just keeping that knee right where the feet are. Here we are using deep muscles of the inner thigh to kick ourselves up. When we land, we're going to use that softening as well. A lot of it's going to take place in our hip. We're also pushing against the ground with our feet as we go down. Notice how the torso also softens.